Good morning, Hendricks County. How are you?
Good morning, Larry.
Good, great. If you'll join the council, and Mr. Hessen will lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The first item on our agenda this morning is the approval of the September 16th joint council and commissioners minutes.
Any motion approved? Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0. And note that Mr. Watson was not able to attend today. The second item is the approval of the September 16th council meeting minutes. Any discussion, motion?
I move the approval.
We have a
Second.
motion to approve,
I second.
and we have a second. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. 6-0. Under old business, the first item we have, I'll open up for a public hearing. And this is for additionals to the budget, and this is set one for today. Rhonda, could you explain?
Yeah, let me give some background on this. So at last month's council meeting, you approved and ratified changes that were made to the increases in pay for 17 individuals. And all of those had appropriations. So we then had 3 that did not have adequate appropriation, and those are the ones that we're considering today. So as Ann has them listed here on the agenda, to carry out the changes that were made, the appropriations that would be needed throughout the end of the year are listed here along with in the amount column for each position. So for the sheriff's position, it was $638, the assessor, $1,862, and the recorder, $487. That is the amount that will be needed in additional appropriation if you want to keep the changes that were made intact. So basically, your choices are that, yes, you can keep them intact as stated, or if you do not approve the change and you want to, you want to make the person whole throughout and not make them pay back what they had already been given, then we have additional set of numbers for those. So it would be $389 for the first one, $1,050 for the second, and for the third, the recorder, $214. That's if you want to revert what happened but however make them whole and not have to go back and pay back what they've already been given. The other option is that you don't have to approve the change at all, and that we can develop a plan to take a little bit out of their paycheck till the end of the year to pay back and correct the error. Another thing you could do is if you want to change these amounts and you don't want to appropriate the full amount, maybe a different amount, then we can work through that process. So I've kind of got contingencies here, but those are really the 3 choices. I would just recommend probably taking each item in the public hearing one by one.
Okay.
Start there.
Item number 1.
I'd like to hear from the sheriff, he's here, to clarify the number 1 there.
So I just wrote down a few thoughts. I want to say we're in an unfortunate situation that has the potential to negatively affect one of my hardest working employees. So if the requested $638 is not approved to cover the shortage in his pay line, then he'll take a pay cut in his hourly wage moving forward. This will only serve to undermine the prior efforts to recognize and reward hardworking employees. It's not Bryce's fault that the misinformation that led to him receiving that 71-cent pay raise in June, but he is the one that's going to be negatively affected by this decision if it is not approved. And again, for me, I know we're talking about additional appropriation, but we have funding in the budget. We have lines that money can be transferred from out of the sheriff's budget where there does not need to be additional appropriation. I know that may be a different subject, but ultimately there is money in the sheriff's budget to cover the $638. And I do think that this will be a negative impact on Bryce. I did provide a letter previous about Bryce's performance. Bryce continues to be an invaluable member of the sheriff's office. He consistently demonstrates exceptional dedication, integrity, and professionalism. His commitment to maintaining the fleet readiness and personal safety, often beyond regular duty hours, sets a strong example for the other employees. He has been recognized by his peers with multiple awards for his outstanding service and dedication to others. He is an exceptional employee and deserves what was provided to him as a benefit to recognize his hard work. And I would just ask that that be appropriated or allowed to be transferred so that Bryce does not take a hit, because again, this isn't his fault. There was misinformation that was provided that allowed for that 71-cent raise. And I just do not want to see Bryce negatively impacted by that misinformation, misunderstanding. I understand you all will fix this moving forward. It won't happen again. But I think negatively impacting the employee because of that mistake is also not a correct decision.
Sheriff, this is happened to performance pay.
So we were under the impression that in the performance pay that there was an allotted amount that could be provided for the employees in 25. Not all of the money that we had set aside for performance pay was provided in January. So there was an impression that there was money left in the performance pay that could be provided. Bryce had not received prior performance pay for 25, so it was provided in June.
So he's a new employee, Jack?
He is not a new employee, no.
So if the additional is not approved, there would be money for a transfer.
So I think there is money for transfer, yes, sir. Again, we have several pay lines throughout the year that we've not filled. Obviously, we have shortages in some staffing areas, and because of that, we've had merit lines that have been open the entire year.
So I'm a little confused here. So Bryce did get a performance pay for 2025 or not?
Well, no, that was the 71 cent in June was the performance pay. We thought, that was our impression, that the performance pay, he didn't get it in January, no, sir.
And how long's he been?
He's been employed with us for several years.
Okay, so it wasn't anything, he was on probation or anything or
No.
nothing like that?
No.
Okay. So the money, you had a lot of your lot of money, not a lot of money, your lot of money was there, and you thought that's what you could pull out of to pay him for his performance, and did that this
And I
summer?
don't remember what that number was, but say there was $5,000 in performance
Sure.
pay, and we only spent $3,500 of it. We thought there was $1,500 left that could be provided to employees in performance pay.
Okay, okay.
But the understanding now is that that was not the case, that it was not provided in January, then that money went back. That was not the understanding.
Okay, okay.
So from January to when it started, he didn't get it.
He did not.
So he's gone 6 months, or essentially the first half of the year without a performance, and now then,
He did not receive performance pay
yeah.
prior to
And
this.
now you made that assumption and adjustment sometime this summer going forward.
Again, in June, there was a conversation
Okay,
that we believed that it was allowable at that time.
okay,
So,
okay.
Am I correct, in the impression that if we approve these additional amounts, that will be for the balance for this year, for 2025, and that at the end of this year, those pay rates go back to where they should have been? Am I correct? Or are we
Performance pay.
approving-
I believe they're going forward, so yes.
So we would be approving not,
We
not
can do
only
it
the
however you
error,
want.
but
Actually, we can do it however you want. If you want to say only to the end of the year and then they revert back, that, we can do it however you would like to do it. The council is in charge of however they want to.
But that's not the way we did it for the other, was it 17?
Yeah.
That's not the way we did it for the rest of them.
We're under the old system right now
Yeah.
rather than the new.
Yeah, we're
rules.
moving forward is slightly different, but
It would go forward.
it would be a permanent pay raise to that amount, whatever rate that it goes to.
Yeah, the 71 cents would be added on to his current for here on.
And then the 26 COLA would be added
To this,
to this additional 71 cents.
the total amount.
Right.
I'd like to make a motion to approve number 1 as
Just a minute,
presented.
Just a minute, we're not ready to take action. We're still in the public hearing.
Oh, sorry.
So we've got to close that first, but would you like to go ahead and hear the next two? Or would you
No,
like to
one at a
close the
time.
public hearing and deal with this one?
Let's take one at a time.
Okay, let's close the public hearing then, and
Okay,
then, we'll
at
open a
this
new
time, I'll
public.
close the public hearing.
Okay. And now we can go ahead and take action on this one.
I'd make a motion to approve the 638 as presented.
Item number 1 is additional set 1. We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second.
Questions?
Discussion.
Yeah, Rhonda, you said this is an additional. We have already budgeted funds there that we could do a transfer. Is this, I'm gonna look at the 3 women here, Rhonda, former auditor, new auditor. Is it better to do an additional, or should we take this and put it into a transfer?
I think we finally came down on the fact that we could do a transfer, but we decided it would be best to just follow the additional appropriation.
For auditing
Process.
purposes in the later future?
If he would fill a line he took money out of, the potential there is it would need an additional. So it's just cleaner,
To do it this way?
in my opinion. It's just cleaner.
You okay with that? Okay.
Now, out of a 2, 3, or 4 transfer, that would be different than a wage transfer.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're doing things right, so if there's any second thoughts, let's air it now.
Further discussion? All those in favor of, all those, excuse me, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0 for an additional. Now, item number 2.
Got to reopen
Open the public hearing
I
for
gotta
this
reopen,
one.
excuse me.
Right, can we switch to 3 instead, because it's basically the same type of question as 1 was. O2, go to 3.
I'm now opening the public hearing for item number 2 in set 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I will go to
Any comments?
Anyone from the audience that wants to speak on item number 2? It's the assessor.
Yes, I do, actually. Thank you. Good morning. I hope you all received the email that I sent a couple weeks ago, and I tried to make it as very clear as possible as to why I was asking for what I was asking. So I have a position that was vacated. I have an employee who has stepped up and has taken over the responsibilities and then some of that position. And so the increase is to just provide her with an additional pay for the additional responsibilities that she has. When I did this increase, I was under the impression that I could do it because I had the money appropriated. So I was doing what I had always done in the last 7 years of being in this position. When I asked for this increase, it was given through the auditor's office and through HR, and no one said anything, so I assumed it was fine. I would like to kind of piggyback on what the sheriff was saying, in that if this money is not appropriated, I just feel like it is not an appropriate thing to have to have an employee pay back something that was not her fault to begin with. What she is performing and the duties that she is performing right now for us has been very important. She's filling a hole that we honestly didn't even realize that I had until she started taking on these responsibilities, which has really freed up myself and my chief to do other things that we have not been able to do. So I just feel that it is appropriate that she get paid for what she is doing. Next year, when for 26, this position gets moved into my reassessment fund, and that money is to be used for this exact purpose. So I really just need this time period to get her through until that fund will be the one funding this position, and there should not be any issue with that once we get transferred over to that reassessment fund. So I'm just asking for your support and your willingness to continue to let this individual do the work that she's doing and get paid for that work, so that we can continue to perform the best that we can in our department. So does anybody have any questions for me?
Yes, no.
Well, I guess I'm afraid, or I'm worried that you may be trying to dump too much on one employee. Your organizational chart, you have one supervisor who has 2 people reporting to her. You have another supervisor who has 2 people reporting to her. Those 6 people report to the chief deputy, and then you have another supervisor who has 14 people reporting to her. I'm all for giving somebody pay for performance and stuff, and you did give that supervisor a performance raise in 24 of 1,900, and then a performance raise in 25. Let's see.
The 1,900 was for 25.
Oh, that was for 25. All right, my bad. And let's see. Yeah, so that was it. So she did get a $1,900 performance raise for this added work, but again, I think that's a lot of people going just to show supervisors, because the job title is supervisor, and it doesn't seem to be in line with the other 2 supervisors.
And I will tell you that I do share Dave's concern as well. Most of the training that I've ever been to, 6 to 8 people is what's considered the most that you want to supervise. And I have a concern, not only will it put too much on Dana, but it might also cause challenges for those people she's supervising to where they may not get adequate supervision and they may fail as a result. So it's something a little bit different than the pay itself, but it is a concern that I have as far as the number of people that she's gonna have to look
Can I
after.
speak to that right now?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what I can tell you is that my current staff is very young, in that the longest person who has been in my residential department, which is the department in which she will be supervising, is maybe 3 years. That is not a very long time in my department to know what's going on. And so with the knowledge that she has, the fact that she had created the training and she did the training to everyone, she knows our policies better than anyone. So that is what we need, is someone who can follow those policies and make sure that those policies are being adhered to. We tried doing this, and the chief deputy, if she were to do this job, she would not be able to do the other things that she's doing, because it is very time consuming. All the work needs to be checked, because we do not want errors going out. So it is a constant checking work, making sure that policies are being, I wish that there was somebody else. There is not anybody that could fill this position at this time. Now, maybe in a couple more years, I can come back and we can look at removing or changing some things. But right now, there is no one who can do this particular position in the way that it needs to be done. I'm kind of got myself stuck in a position. I've lost some people, and my department is not one that I can hire somebody off the street and have them become a supervisor, because it takes so long to understand all the ins and outs and the policies that are involved. So for the efficiency of my department, this is the best thing for us. This is what we have been looking for, honestly, is someone to be able to take over this residential. My previous supervisor wasn't able to do that. I've got someone now who is willing and able. I just am wanting to make sure that they can be compensated for the extra work that they're doing. Does that answer that question?
I understand that. I would even go further than, like, the 14 people that you have that are gonna be supervising. It doesn't sound like you have somebody that's in that group that you're comfortable with being, like a mid-level supervisor, but I really think I would encourage you to look and see if there's somebody who can be that mid-level, maybe between Dana and the rest of the people, so they can resolve problems before it gets them to rise to that level.
Okay.
Whether it rises to the chief deputy, you, or whomever you put in that position.
Okay, thank you.
Other comments?
I've forgotten, Doug. Are the grades for all three supervisors the same, or was this one increased?
Currently, they're all the same. The increase to her pay was to put her at the maximum,
For that
is
grade?
that right? For that point?
For the range?
Yes, and so best case scenario, which I was not going to even open up until we know what you guys are going to do, but if you approve this today, then I would like to consider next year increasing her grade, because then she would be at the top and there's no place for her to go even with a performance pay. So, but that's a problem for another day. I just want to get through today, and I hope you guys understand the importance of the work that this individual is doing and the importance that it means to my department to have this individual do this work.
For clarification, the amount you're requesting is only to take her to the top level of the grade she's currently in,
That is correct.
which is the same grade that the other people at that same level in your organizational chart
Same grade, yes.
are. The other people at the top of that grade or that pay point.
They are not, but they have a lot, they're,
I understand.
okay.
Don't mean to put you on the spot.
It's okay.
Couple things. It matters not in the council's decision whether it's reassessment fund or general fund. They are both in maximum levy. Maximum levy is going away, maybe sometime, but they are both in the maximum levy. And that would not play into our decision-making. Secondly, this seems like peanuts to everybody. This is really a big deal, this error in understanding. And maybe it's my fault for not making sure it was understood. But had every department taken advantage of the way things were being done, it would be over $5 million in increases. That's the difference between midpoint and max. So this is a really big deal, that it is correct. Thirdly, and I'm sure I'm gonna make Nikki mad or everybody mad, but we have never, many departments have come before the council asking, and I specifically, because I see him at the back of the room, think of Tim, who came in and asked and pleaded for more pay for his people. And we turn him down. Sheriff Clark came and asked for pay for his people, for his person. We turned him down. We've never done any type of raise to this magnitude. And I would maybe feel slightly different about it had there not been a meeting with elected officials where they were advised or recommended to get yours to the maximum, and then you can apply the 4% to it, which generates almost $10,000 for this position. I just don't see that as right to the other employees. I'm sorry. That's the way it works out per year. So I'm sorry I feel that way. I think Ann was probably manipulated a little bit or told wrong information. It's very unfortunate because it's not the employee's fault. It's not the employee's fault at all. And you may think I snoop on you, I do not. This came to my attention when Larry made a call to me and Dave Wyeth told me about it at the August meeting. I had no idea this was happening. So, but I spent 16 years working with this, and it is a big deal that it be done right. So, it's taxpayer money, it's not our money. We serve the taxpayers, and we're the steward of the money. It's not ours. So that's how I feel.
Thank you. Other comments?
I guess would share Chuck's concern to have such an imbalance. Got 3 different supervisors and one with so many more people being supervised. I don't know how you strike a good balance. I don't know what the folks who are being supervised are doing. I'm guessing that the jobs are similar. And if just because there are more people that have been put under this particular supervisor's supervision, I don't think that in itself justifies a difference in what the grade pays, and that's outwardly that's how it appears. So I think there needs to be. I mean, it's your department, but I think you need to give it another look as to work distribution.
Part of that is how my department is. I've got 5 different departments within the assessor's department. So business, personal property, I only have 2 employees. Sales disclosure, I have 4. Field department, I have 4. My residential reassessment department, which is my biggest department, is the 10 people, okay? There's no other, of course my other 2 are gonna have smaller, there's nobody else in their department. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Other comments or comments? I have
You go ahead and I'll finish.
one question. If we approve the additional, I was thinking that would take it beyond the maximum on that pay range.
No, that
don't
takes
think
it
so.
to the max.
It takes it to the max.
None of these were outside of the pay grade. All 3 were within the pay grade.
Yes, sir.
Part of the challenge that I have, Nikki, with this is Dave and Chuck brought up 2 points that I'm not familiar with, and that was the management side of things. And it does concern me with that, it really does. Because to have success, you surround yourself with good people, putting the effort in, and I want your department to succeed. I want your people to succeed. I want everyone to succeed.
Sure.
And that does concern me that you might be stretching her a little thin, and that might affect you eventually. The other thing is when we went through this stuff with the wage stuff, that was some of the most difficult times that this council went through. And there are a couple council members who told us early on that this won't work. And I'm a farmer, and I have to be optimistic, because if it doesn't work the first time, I'll try it again. And I'll give it every damn thing I can to make it work, figure it out. But we keep having some challenges. And this is another one of those challenges that's happened. And it really bothers me and concerns me that we could be on a breaking point. And I don't want us to revert back to the way the old system was. But I feel like this has been taken a little advantage of, personally. Sorry, but I feel this way, because there should be the process to go through. And I don't want us to go back and set a salary to each grade, because I just seen her, I don't know if she's still here, but Tammy Mitchell, I remember telling us, guys, it's not fair to bring somebody in and give them the same wage as somebody with 10 years' experience. And this performance thing was to help give the latitude back to department heads and elected officials to be adult, to be responsible, to take accountability for what you do. And we want to be hands-off on that because we don't manage your people, we don't hire, we don't fire. But we're trying to give you that latitude to do that. And now then, we've had to make some changes. That's the reason why we had to have the payroll discussion. That's why there's a 1% cap. There's a reason why there's a worksheet. And I personally was advocating more to give more to performance, to give you folks more latitude to do things than to try to hinder you from doing more things. But if we don't look out, I'm concerned that we're gonna go back, set grades, set salaries, and COLA's gonna be it. And we're getting very close to that, in my opinion.
Is that not what that study was for? What the changes that you guys are making for the 26th is to address all of that, correct?
Yeah, but that wasn't the original plan. The original plan was to add performance onto the base salaries.
Okay.
So now we're penalizing in some ways. But there's also this unexpected thing that we all know about is SB1. We don't know what the effects of that are gonna be.
Sure.
So it really challenges me, and I have advocated for this. I have defended people with this. I've taken a bunch of BS with this. And it really has bothered me. I've lost more sleep in the last 30 days because of this issue than I have my own business, a multi-million-dollar business. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. More comments? Any other comments? At this,
If there's no one else, check to see if there's anybody else that wants to testify on this one.
yes, is there anyone else that wants to address this, make comments? If not, I will close the public hearing at this point. Is there further discussion or someone ready to make a motion?
Murray, I agree with Chuck, and other comments that were made by both the sheriff and Nikki, that I don't want to penalize the employee for misunderstandings that happen. I'll call it misunderstanding. So I think we should cover the amount that's already been paid out, which is that $1,050. But I'd like to make a motion that we only approve the $1,050 for the amount that's already been paid out and not approve the additional for the rest of the year.
Okay, we have a motion to approve $1,050.
So it's being frozen at this point in time?
Yeah.
When's the next pay period? Is it this week or was it last week?
It ends this week, Friday.
On where the normal cutoff would be.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Oh, second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 6-0. Or is it an even 1,050?
Yes.
Okay, at this time, I will open up a public hearing for item number 3 on the additional set 1. Wanda, is there any comment on that?
And this is the recorder's office, an appropriation in the amount of $487 if you want to take them to the amount that was changed.
Okay, is there comments from the council or from?
Laura's not here, but you all received her note because they've been training 2 or 3 employees at the same time. This one employee had to take on extra work so that those employees could be trained. And same thing with the others, that because of longevity, she was never going to catch up with other people on her grade level because she was newer. So that was what this request was about when it started. And I sent you all her comments and description.
No comments?
Does this take her to the max of her pay grade?
No.
It's just the public hearing part.
Is this not part of the public hearing? Anyone else want to speak or comments on this?
I think it was a very modest request to bring her up to where the other girls were at. Is that her other, she's got 6 or 7 staff. And the longevity, when it was all added together, really confused things.
So
Yes.
this just brings, I guess I understand when the training's so on, it's not easy, but if that's all done within the regular working hours, I guess that's, to me, that's part of the job.
I think this person was doing the work while the other people were being trained by somebody else. So you're taking out, you're missing 2 people who have just left, but you're also using 1 or 2 people to train those new people. So this one person was taking on basically the load of 4 people,
I guess that's.
well, helping. I mean, they were all working hard. I'm not discrediting.
Right.
And I see where she didn't receive a performance in 25.
She did. It should be on there. She's the,
What name of it is it?
Kim.
Oh, right, Kim, okay, my bad. So she did receive some performance, and so is this falling under performance part, or is this falling under actual salary change?
this would be on top of everything. So,
Is it being classified as part of performance, or is it being classified as part of salary?
I mean, if you approve it, it becomes part of her base salary for next year, just like the other ones.
And at the same level as the others, right?
She's closer to the others in the office.
She's still gonna be,
She's still gonna be below.
Okay.
It was not a full match.
Do you know what her performance was for 25?
it all comes out of perpetuation.
I'm sorry?
It all comes out of perpetuation also.
That's, regardless of what the source is, that's a whole different issue, I think.
It doesn't come out of the generals.
Other comments, more comments, other comments
Yeah.
concerning item 3? Anything further? At this time, I will close the public hearing for item number 3. Is there further discussion? At this time, is there someone care to make a motion?
I'll move we accept the additional appropriation number 3 for recorder in the amount of $487.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the 487. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second for it. Over here, Larry.
Did Wyatt second?
Oh.
They beat him to it.
Whoops. Beat him.
Turn your chair around, I was down, right?
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there further discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 6-0. Next item under old business. Whoops.
Yeah, we're moving on to that, but I want to pass around the handout. There's a, oh, okay.
Give this book to Thank you, sir.
Under old, still under old business, we are for an adoption of ordinance 2025-35, -30, which is an amendment to the salary ordinance of 2025. Rhonda, would you like to explain some of this?
So in order to get this amendment to the shape we need it, first thing that we'll need to do is take action on the changes that you just made with the appropriation. So I passed around this sheet which now shows the hourly amounts that were approved based on the appropriation that you approved. So for the assessor's position, the hourly rate is gonna stay at $32.67 going forward from this day. But you did approve that she would not have to pay back, so we'll have to address that in just a minute. For the other two positions, the recorder and the sheriff's mechanic, you agreed to pay them at this hourly rate to take them to the current, which recorder is $26.71 per hour, and sheriff's mechanic, $29.77. So the first thing that needs to happen is for you to motion to ratify and approve these payroll changes as stated.
Is there a motion to approve? It's
Make
ready.
motion approved.
Ratify and approve.
Ratify and approved.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a second from Mr. Wyatt. Further discussion?
For clarification, I think you want us to enter these numbers into this
That's
salary
right,
ordinance.
that's right.
So,
Here you go.
and they're highlighted, the
Yes.
spaces that needs to go to.
That's exactly right. So now we can look at the ordinance, and this is now under consideration. It's ordinance number
We haven't
2025.
voted on that yet.
We haven't voted on this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's all right.
I have
Easy, Rhonda.
a question, Exhibit A, I'm sure it was explained. I'm looking at under prosecutor, victims assistance coordinator, 45 cents hourly. And victims assistance, victims administrative assistant, 45 cents hourly. And drug task force officer, 45 cents salaried. And I probably should know why those figures, but I don't.
Mr. President, I think we ought to finish the vote on this first before we look at the ordinance.
Oh. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, we have a motion.
Yeah.
And a second. Is there further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0.
Now you hear that.
Okay.
Okay, let me go ahead and just read the ordinance into the record first. So this is ordinance number 2025-30, and ordinance amending ordinance number 2025-02, fixing the number and compensation of all officers, deputies, and employees whose salary is comprised of the funds payable from county funds within the jurisdiction of the Hendricks County Council for the year 2025. This has already been introduced last meeting, and now it is open for amendment and adoption.
Discussion.
Yeah. Again,
Yes, sir.
my questions, those 45 cent hourly and one salary. I'm not,
Those are grant people, and their grant did not cover the entire amount.
okay, so this is
So the
filler.
general had to cover that little tiny bit.
Okay, and the same would be true then for work of these positions, smaller hourly rates. All right,
Anything to do with the opioid piece of this, or?
The drug task force guy is opioid. From prosecutor, the other two are grants, the stop grant and the vocal grant, vocal assistance grant.
We're going to need to make some amendments to this ordinance because it was contingent on your action that you just took. So Nancy is correct. If you go through and the numbers that you just approved, that I circled on the handout, they would be inserted on page 3 of Exhibit A, the mechanic 2977, followed by page 6, the field assessor supervisor, you would insert 3267. And then recorder.
Page 2.
Page 2, okay. Page 2, sorry, go back. And that would be 2671 to Exhibit A. And This is a proposed amendment to the salary ordinance. And this would be to allow the assessor's position to be paid at that higher pay for the time period that she was paid. Because you decided not to make her pay back, that it's gonna be going forward. So this would be an amendment, and we would replace section 2 and then renumber the sections accordingly in the ordinance. And the part that you need here on this proposed amendment, and I can read it, this would replace current section 2 and we would renumber accordingly. For the line item listed below, the council hereby ratifies and approves the salary shown below, but only for the time period as stated. After October 20th, these line items shall be paid in accordance with Exhibit A. And the only one we need to deal with here is the middle one. You can scratch the other two out because we're not dealing with those two. So Ann, I really just need a date from you from, that change was made in August. Do you have a date we want to plug in there for August that would?
Not at the top of my head. I can pull it up before we're done though.
I'll just give you a second, maybe.
It's in WOW, so it takes a while.
We can't really go forward until we get that.
We need to wait for that.
Yeah, just let her get that date. Is there any questions about this proposed amendment? What we're doing here? Okay. It's so that we can pay the field assessor position. She doesn't have to pay back. We're authorizing that higher pay for a certain time period. But then she'll revert back to Exhibit A, what the number we just plugged in. I think if you happen to know the August payroll dates, that might get you there.
The 22nd was the payroll date.
August 22nd. So plug in
That
August.
was the pay date of that payroll, so it would have been.
3 weeks prior.
So if she was paid on August 22nd, then it would have been August 2nd through the 15th.
All right, so if you would plug in to this proposed amendment, as it now reads, Section 2, for the line item listed below, the council hereby ratifies and approves the salary shown below, but only for the time period as stated. After October 20th, 2025, this line item shall be paid in accordance with Exhibit A, and then we'll, the only one that will show up in the amendment will be August 2nd to 2025 to October 20th, 2025. The residential field assessor supervisor position is allowed to be paid at the rate of $34.99 hourly. So I need a motion and second and to adopt this amendment.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 6-0.
Now, the salary ordinance is ready for adoption as amended. So again, this is an amendment to the salary ordinance as amended, so that would be a motion to approve the amendment to the salary ordinance as amended.
We have a motion to approve from Mr. Wyeth. Is there a second?
Go ahead. That's for 2025-30.
We have a motion and a second. Is there further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? 6-0. Under new business, we have,
Give my shine.
oh my gosh, excuse me.
Start new business.
I'm sorry, Mr. Cox.
Jump in here.
Sure. Yeah.
I think his most conceived, there's a big sign down here, this year, the Association of Indiana Counties gave a nice reward to Hendricks County for their youth assistance program. We received the big sign, which next week I'm gonna present to the commissioners, and then they can put it wherever they wanna put it. And,
Preferably displayed, Denny. Let's clarify that, what's displayed.
and they also, presented us with one small plaque, which I also will present to the commissioners. But, under new business, and then, also, the Republican paper was nice enough to put it last week into their, 2 weeks ago, into their paper, so the county received some nice publicity here. Under new business, I would like to ask permission from the council to, and I'll make a motion that I'm able to proceed with obtaining 7 more of these plaques, because I feel we should give one of these to each of the entities that's involved right now, which would be Town of Plainfield, Plainfield Sewer Corporation, Town of Avon, Avon Sewer Corporation, the YAP Director's Office, the Juvenile Judge's Office, and there's one for the commissioners and then one for us, so that totals 7 that we'll need. I don't have a price yet, but I'm still working on an exact price, but I'd just like permission to proceed with getting those for the other entities.
I'll second that motion, and I think Dave Cox, this is, but for his efforts, we wouldn't have that recognition. And I think I would like to have the minutes reflect his efforts.
Appreciate it.
It's a project that really is paying remarkable dividends, I think. And I think we owe a great deal of gratitude to Dave Cox.
Well, the first 2 directors that were hired just really didn't do that good a job, plus we hit into the virus time period. But the present director, Stacy, who I believe is hiding back there, is doing a fantastic job, way above what I expected. So I'd like to give her kudos for all her work.
We definitely appreciate your work on that. You said in the back row to hide back there, I think, but she's doing a great job, and it started as a pilot, and the council funded that pilot to get things started at Plainfield, and now it's grown to Avon, and I believe there may be 2 of the other school clerks are investigating getting into it too. The original goal was to get it countywide, so that our young people, we're talking teenagers, I believe, primarily, that we can get them going on to a good further life for themselves and the community too, instead of going the other direction.
And I don't know if you've heard that figure, but I was told that the referrals to juvenile court have dropped about 30%.
Oh my, that's even more than I realized.
Stacy, do you have any update you'd like to add?
I don't have any updates. I mean, I'm just so grateful for each and every one of you, especially Dave for just pushing it and coming alongside of us and helping us and continuing to help us grow. So we couldn't do it without all of you. So very grateful.
I know we are actively working with Danville now and one or 2 of the other corporations.
Yeah, I'm sure that all the members of the council agree with what Larry's comments was. Dave did take this and ran with it, and went to an awful lot of time and meetings and coordination with people to make it a reality. So we appreciate it very much. Comment?
I think this all sort of stimulated from Judge Love, didn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
It's a shame. I guess you might say it's not a shame. It's a legacy project.
It is a legacy.
That's the best way to say it. And I think, Dave, you're doing correct with that, with those plaques. You know, you get recognition like that in a community, a growing community that we have. Hard to measure, but it sounds like we're finding some data. And if we could take a handful of kids and get them turned in the right direction, that they don't become part of Sheriff Sadler's department, and I think I've seen probation here as well, what value does that bring to our community? And so congrats, kudos to everybody, and Dave, you've done a fantastic job. I'm sorry I wasn't able to stick around to see that, but I think for your YAP director, I think that sign's bigger than hers. So that's
Okay, we have a motion and a second, I think basically for a consensus to Dave to move on in order to get 7 more copies of the small plaque. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 6-0. Thank you. Thanks for your efforts, Dave. Okay, moving on, in new business. Our next item is resolution number 2025-32, which is an interlocal cooperation agreement with the town of Avon. John, would you like to, do you have anything to
Real
address
quick,
on
this
this?
is, the commissioners took action to approve an interlocal agreement with the town of Avon. This is for improvements to County Road 525 East, which runs between New 36, and the section that runs between New 36 and Old 36, there next to the Chevy dealer.
I want you to be on camera.
And so what's happening is, as part of their deal for their new Easton Gray development, Avon's new Easton Gray development east of there, they're having to make some changes to the intersections on 36. And to do that, they're having to make changes to the function of that stretch of 525, and they're widening it and improving it in that short stretch between New and Old 36. And they're taking all the costs, they're doing the construction, but that is currently in county jurisdiction, so we had to do an interlocal agreement to allow them to do that work there. And so the commissioners signed that interlocal agreement, just giving Avon permission to make those improvements. And then there are a lot of legal wranglings that I don't really understand, but fortunately other people do.
Well,
This is a resolution for the council to
I believe
basically agree with that.
But our council cleared up the difference, if you want to explain
Sure.
that.
First of all, in the packet, I don't think you had the first page of the interlocal agreement. Do you have something that says left turn lane construction? Is that agreement? I think it starts out with, I think you're missing the first page. Okay, so let me provide that to you because I noticed that last night. So you have the full agreement.
More sense on.
Yeah, it's off the page here. Thank you.
So the resolution that is included in your packet is covering the role that the council plays in this instance with approval of this interlocal agreement. The county executive is the body that has to actually act on a resolution to bind the county to this agreement. The council's role, however, in the statute, as it states, is to, in order to avoid having to have this interlocal agreement go to the Attorney General for approval, you're just verifying that there is somebody to handle the funds, which will be the Avon Clerk Treasurer, as stated in the interlocal agreement. So that is the purpose of what the council is checking for, and your sign off allows this to just move forward without having to go to the HE. So that's the resolution that's included in your packet.
John, but this being your 36, NDOT wasn't involved? Or?
NDOT is involved, and this was because they're having to change, I think they're taking away the signal now at Old 36 where it meets New 36 there by the coffee place. I think that's going away, And then, so traffic that's going to have to turn left onto 36 coming from Old 36 is gonna have to cut down 525. And that's why they're having to widen 525, because there's not gonna be a signal any longer east of there. They're moving a signal to the new Easton Gray intersection, which is just east of that.
You know, are they just shutting off that east split?
I don't think they're shutting it off. I think it'll be right turn only, it won't be signalized.
Okay.
For the timeline, it says will commence in 2025 and completed, final completion and open for traffic in 2025. Is that,
I can't speak to their construction schedule. I don't know where that stands. Like I said, Avon's doing the work, we're just
Yep,
giving
right.
them every time to do it. So if there's not a lot of work, so they very well could be doing it yet this fall, I don't know. I'd be surprised if they haven't started it yet, I'd be surprised, but.
They're working on that turn lane now.
okay.
Okay, further discussion? Is there a motion?
I make motion to approve resolution 2025-32.
We have a motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
We have a second, we have a motion and a second, further discussion. All those in favor of accepting, approving the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0.
John, before, I noticed that the roundabout on 267 and Township Line Road is open. Is that ours or is that Plainfield's?
That's Plainfield.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be me.
Our next item is the adoption of the Recycle Hendricks County 2026 Budget Ordinance 2025-33. Is anyone here to comment on that, or, yes, sir?
I'm Len Detweiler, the director for the Hendricks County Recycling District. Thank you for what you do. We were together last month for the public hearing on this, our budget. And so today is the adoption. A reminder, we do not have a property tax levy. So 95% of our funding comes through a tipping fee assessed at the landfill here in town. The council is required to still approve our budget, so that's why we're here. Happy to try to answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Detweiler?
I'll move we adopt ordinance number 25-33 for the Hendricks County Recycling District budget.
Okay, we have a motion to adopt. Is there a second?
Okay.
Dave Cox, second. Discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0. You got all.
I did, thank you.
Wasn't too messy.
Our next item is adoption of the Hendricks County 2026 Budget Ordinance 2025-34.
I do have a question that we might need to check with Mr. Geratas. And this was on the public hearing paper that I didn't notice till I was looking at it over the weekend. Under bond proceeds of 201, 17 million is the adopted budget. And I think that was meant to be 1,700,000. Because you only advertise 1 year in a budget, you don't advertise the total. So you might check on that. So,
I'll check.
You're saying that
He
might
didn't
scare our
look over
taxpayers.
it, so all of the,
if it's 1 year, that's really, really big.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. So I think the decimal place just needs moved. And they would correct it. DLGF would fix it.
Correct it anyway.
They would not.
The comma.
They would.
It's not the
Or
decimal,
comma,
it's
it's
the
a
comma.
comma.
Decimal, we're not too worried about, it's the comma we're worried about.
The figure is right.
Minus some zeros.
so there's a potential correction in that, then,
Yeah, just before she turns it in, just
okay.
have you check with,
Wanda, can we go ahead and take
Make a
action?
motion to amend as stated.
Okay.
Approve that.
Does that sound like a motion for you?
yeah, I can move that. I think that's correct, but I do want Ann and Greg to review that. So I'll move that we amend this ordinance number 2534, line 4, fund code 0201, bond proceeds from 17 million to 1,700,000,
Second,
based on final call by.
based on final approval.
Okay, motion to approve, subject to correction, is made. We have a second, I believe, by Mr. Cox. Is there discussion?
Rhonda, if by chance, that amount is not accurate, or we have to come back and do it, is there a way we can pass it for
Verify
clarification?
before we
Okay.
make it official.
We can we can go back and redo your motion, Nancy, and you could say, pending, make the change pending clarification from Ann or whoever's going to get that clarification, so.
And if it's a different number, that's okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so, did you vote on this one already?
No.
Did you-
No, no.
Okay, all right,
No,
so
we-
withdraw your motion and remake your motion.
Okay, I'll withdraw my previous motion and remake it to amend ordinance number 2534, fund code, DLGF fund code 201, bond proceeds,
To the correct amount.
upon approval by either financial consultant or the auditor, amend it to 1,700,000, adopt a budget from 17 million. I said that backwards.
Okay.
Is that more confusing?
Yes.
I was thinking what you were trying to say was, don't put a dollar amount, don't make it 1.7, just make it as just determined.
I don't,
You can do that if you'd like to, however you'd like to do the
Because that
motion.
way,
Just to make sure you're correct.
just make sure the figure's right. I think that is the right figure, but just to make sure we don't have to rechange it
whatever,
again.
whatever works, so.
You want to hold real quick, move on and come back to this, I'll call Greg.
I think it really,
No, I think we'll be okay.
All right,
It-
okay.
As
It'll
amended.
just be subject to a correction by the auditor rather than FSG.
Okay.
And so we have a motion,
and I'll second that change, yeah.
and we have a second by Mr. Cox. More discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0. Our next item is Resolution 2025-35, which is updating the cash management policy. Don't, Ron, do you have any comments on
I
this?
reached out to Greg a while back, and I know you reached out
I
to him
did too.
too. I've tried to reach out to him this morning and have not heard back. My understanding of this is that back in 2014, and correct me if I'm wrong, that it was the last time you did a cash management policy, and that in order to go to get your bond ratings, they like you to have one of these. So we're updating it
For it
or,
to be updated annually.
right, which I don't think has been happening, because I think the last time it was updated was 2014. So the way it reads in here is that, I don't know that we put annually, but you definitely can update it annually, but periodically, I think is the word we use. The real meat of it is on Exhibit A, and it's for each one of these funds, you're to approve a minimum in the far right column. My question to Greg was gonna be, are the numbers in the column right next to that, titled cash investment requirement, are those the recommended amounts that he wanted us to use? And that was the answer we were trying to get from him.
I believe that's what that column means, but that's
Okay.
totally my guess.
Okay, Okay, it seems to me that that's what he's
Yes,
indicating. he would
because
do.
general's current is 10 million, so going to 12 million sounds like what he was going for.
Okay, the only change that I see at the very last one, self-insurance rainy day fund. It says 25% of 25 annual claims, and then I assume the annual claims are, the next number, the 12,645,426. But when I take, that next number, 6,322,713, is actually 50% of that number and not 25%. So I don't know if that calculation was done wrong. And it should be, we should go with 25%?
I believe our current, or the minimum that we have since 2014, which is 10 million, I believe.
For insurance rainy day is 3.5 million.
Oh, 3.5.
Yeah, neither of those calculations work out right. Our claims are more, that's budget, our claims are more 8 million, 8, 9 million, so if it's,
Isn't that number of 12, is that what we sort of put in for an allowance for?
But
Ron, is this something that's pressing, needs to be done today?
we also only have 4.5 in there right now, so that can't be right.
Yeah.
Because of
That is a
That's
question
just-
I don't know. Where are we in the, do you know about that? Are they trying to get bond ratings right now? Did you-
Yes.
Well, yeah, yes, we are right now. Last week on Friday, we had our meeting with Standard & Poor's, and where we were responding and answering questions. And prior to that meeting, Greg had asked us about, because he had the understanding that we were updating that on an annual basis. And he wanted to be able, when he submits the total package to them, which is like 205 pages, I believe, that he could include that we had done an annual update on that. And that's why we were going to try, we wanted to try to accomplish that today.
Okay, well then I would just suggest going down through each one of these lines on Exhibit A and determining what your approved minimum is.
Well, the rainy day one is presently 3,500,000.
13 million.
I'm sorry, that's
Oh,
right.
the,
Oh, that's the balance. The balance is,
It's 4.
oh, so,
let's see,
Yeah, the
established
insurance rate.
minimum balance is, what we have now is 3,500,000. And that's almost, I think, a little bit high, because we've only had a balance in that fund of 4,500,000.
What we could do is just to leave that $3,500,000 for rainy day, because the figures there don't make sense, and approve this, the balance requirements for the other funds, and just leave that one at $3.5 million.
I have a question. The 2014 Cinda was auditor then, when that was last done, that's correct, it's been a while. I have not yet to be clear, if we, God forbid, we're down this low, and we're sitting with $12 million in general fund, and we can't make payroll. Do we not make payroll, or, what's the step to override the,
You're talking like the federal government. versus
right,
us.
or the state of Indiana? I'll find some later. So, as I'm not clear how that works, this is just a number to put out there to keep you informed. It's on the status of funds every month. But if we ever get to that point, God forbid.
So if you read in the resolution, their minimum fund balance targets, it's just a target number.
Right.
Right.
It's not really like you're saying we can't spend below it, but it's kind of what, you have an idea of what you are trying to keep in that fund as a target.
Should set up the red flags if
Right.
that's what
But
you're
I
looking
guess,
for.
if I understand right, Larry, the bond people want us just to upgrade this every year. They're not so big about the numbers, they just want to
Yeah,
upgrade.
they just want an update on it. So what we could do is adopt the existing ones we have. And I don't know if one or two of those, or there may be one that we don't have a minimum on right now.
Yes, there are several.
And
Yeah, that's what was my question is, why are we beefing up the general from 10 to 12? I mean,
It is
reason
recommended,
for that.
it is recommended by most everybody that we keep 20%. So that's the 20% of our budget, which would be, yeah. So that's kind of the standard. Our cash balances were really good and have been for past 10 years. So I don't think there's any fear of anything
Yeah,
happening.
we've
but-
never had a problem going under these in recent years. So we could,
If we do it every year, we can adjust
so we
pretty
could
quick,
just,
I think. Yeah.
we could just adopt these numbers that we already have.
Would you be able to read off for each one so we can fill in the blank on the way down?
Yeah, let's do that. Under county general,
10 million.
10 million.
we have 10 million.
For clarity, are the numbers of is that a suggestion on the investment requirement? Or says CAS investment requirement on Exhibit A? Is that the suggested amount because of the 20%?
That's what we've been trying to get a hold of Greg, and we reached out to him last week, and we cannot get a hold of
It appears to be
him.
20%, I mean, I'm just doing it in my head.
Yeah.
And if that's kind of the accepted measure as far as the bond fund goes, I think we probably should go with it to make sure that our bond rating is as high as it can be. It's not like we're poor, if you will. I hate to use that term, but it's not like the money's not there, and this is only a target. It's not an absolute bottom line that we can never go under.
That's correct, Chuck. The idea of it is part of having, that you're actually managing, that you have targets, that you're trying to be careful with how you're handling the money.
So are the numbers, my question to Greg, and this is where he provided this whole resolution, and are the numbers in the column next to where it says county approved minimum, are those the numbers that he wanted the minimum to be? That's,
Well, the first two, the general and edit, the first one, the county general, 12 million, it's 10 now. I don't see a problem with that, frankly. 5 is what we have now, 5 is what's suggested.
For the edit.
okay,
And then we don't have a minimum for cumulative bridge, for cumulative capital. It's now 750 and he's showing 1.5.
So perhaps we could, today we could adopt the 1.5 million.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we don't have a minimum on the Exhibit A for food and beverage. Oh, yes, we do, yeah, next to last. That's now 2, and the recommended is 2,075,400.
Careful. Careful.
So we could make that 2.1 mil
For
Okay,
food and beverage,
for food and beverage.
raising it 5%.
And see, on the MVH that's listed on here is both funds combined. And so
700, highway is 700, and we don't have
anything for
for
food.
local road and street.
So perhaps we could make that 2.0 million, 2.0.
on MBH.
He's recommended 1.4.
Yeah, I think
He's
Like
recommending
1.5, I
1.4,
think
so
it'd be
we
worth-
could do 1.5 million
Okay.
for MVH.
Yeah.
On the rainy day, we have
3.5.
3.5 million.
3.5 is actually over 25%.
Rainy day and insurance rainy day are two different funds.
Yeah, it's a self-insurance rate.
Rainy day is supposed to stay at the current balance. I think there's verbiage in the resolution that says we'll leave that as
Yeah,
is.
we don't have,
10 million.
we don't have a minimum for just rainy day.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we did,
10
yes, we did. 10,
We have 10 million.
yeah.
So what he shows 13,907.
That's the balance.
Does he want the current balance to carry over? I thought there was verbiage in here.
He doesn't like when we spend from there.
Can we make that the current balance?
And we haven't needed to.
Yeah, I leave that current balance.
Just say current balance?
You've added 10,
Yeah.
10 mil for rainy day.
Yeah, are we leaving it at 10 mil or are we putting it in the current balance?
Well, if we use the 13.9, that is our balance.
Yeah.
So we don't want to do that.
Section 2 of the resolution says, the council has reviewed the budget for fiscal year 2026. Cash balance in the rainy day fund is expected to be maintained at its current level. It is the council's intent that the rainy day fund only be used for emergency purposes going forward.
I would think we could leave it at the 10,
Yeah, I
10.0 million.
That language is for the bond rating, I'm sure, so,
Yeah.
I,
I think they want the whole balance listed there. But
You could just write in the words current balance, whatever that is,
Put in current balance.
Mhm.
When we did the bonding for the jail, Nancy and you and I, Whetstone, Wicker, Larry Hessen was part of that. And we talked about the food and beverage, because not every county has a food and beverage, and not as healthy as food and beverage as we did here. And the creditors liked that a great deal, since those are unrestricted funds. So I think we're okay with what we're talking about. We've always had that to back up, and that's a huge thing. And we have food and beverage with $12 million as of the first of the month. So that keeps us from hopefully being federal government, Nancy.
So we'd have that, the minimum, or the approved minimum at 2.1 mil, just leave it there.
Yeah, and that helps with our rainy day, in my opinion.
Okay, now what about the reassessment?
It's 50,000 now.
that will restrict her more because the levy was lowered in reassessment this year, so
Exactly.
that may be a little high.
The 50,000 may be high.
No, the
No, what he's
recommended-
recommended 258,
Well, that's way too high, I'm sure.
but the 50 seems
Too low.
pretty low. I mean, we got a problem if we're there.
200,
So we, maybe like
150.
150?
150?
Yeah. We have 2.1 for food and beverage, and then the self-insurance rainy day,
3.5.
Yeah, if you leave it at 3.5, that's 25%.
3.5 mil.
Did you make a decision on general?
10?
10
10 million.
It's below 12 million that he suggested. Is that okay? I mean,
I'm sorry.
I would like to go up to where he's suggesting. I'd like to go with the 12.5.
That is the standard, so.
but it actually says 20% of the budget, so it'd probably be better to say, go with that 12.
Yeah, I think we should go to 12.5.
Okay, so to do a rundown, county general, 12.5, edit, 5 mil, fume cap development, 1.5 million, MVH with both funds combined, 1.5 million. Rainy day, current balance, is that what we're gonna say?
Yeah.
Okay. Reassessment would be at 150,000, food and beverage would be at 2.1 million, and self-insurance rainy day would be 3.5 million. Is there a motion?
Motion approved, resolution 2025-35 as amended.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0. Okay. Now, our next item And the new business is the additional set 2, and at this time, I'm setting a public hearing for comments on additionals set 2. Comments? Seeing no and hearing no comments, I will close the public hearing. We have 4 through 17. Number 4 through 17 on the additional set 2. Rhonda, would you like to make some comments on this?
On the additionals?
I can say the health and the drug court are using funds that they already have, they're just appropriating them.
All right. Discussion, any further discussion?
Mr. President,
We accept,
Go ahead.
I'll move we accept number 4 through 17 as presented.
second.
So we have a motion to approve 4 through 17 with a second discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0. Our next item is reallocation of funds resolution, which is transfers. We commonly call it transfers. We have 5 transfers requested, 1 from the sheriff, 2 from the recorder, and 2 from probation.
The first 3 can be voided.
Because of our actions prior.
Yeah.
So 4 through 6.
So it would be 4 through 5.
5 and 6.
Have 4 through 6, Mr. President. Recorder and 2 probation.
So
Four
1
and
and
5.
2 can be voided.
Pardon?
1 and 2 can be
1
voided.
and 2.
1 and 2,
Okay.
not the first 3.
Depends on what sheet you're looking at. If you look at this sheet, 1 and 2.
Wait a minute.
If you look at this sheet, the agenda sheet, it's 1, 2, and 3. Would be-
My,
Actually, looking at this sheet,
the
1
5,
and
the
2.
5 that I have
It's
on
on
my
the
sheet
back.
starts with the sheriff,
Right.
the recorder, and the recorder.
So we need the recorder at 5,500, we need the probation at 75,000, and we need the probation at 200,000.
Okay, so 3, we
3, 4, and 5
we
is what we
need
need.
action on 3, 4, and 5.
Can you refresh my memory, because I don't recall seeing this, what the $5,500 is for in the recorder, because those are wage lines.
Yeah, with the recorder not here today, did she leave any?
She needed people to be trained while the other people were still here. So she was paying,
So it's overlap.
it was
Oh, it's
overlap,
overlap for a replacement on her retirement.
yeah,
She's got 2
before they
people there.
retired.
She's got
And then there was some for a payout.
Which we've done that in the past several times.
And this is Rita's line. So Rita, we had to pay her out for part of her PTO, so therefore that created that shortage. And then she also trained Ally while she was still here.
Does that help you
Mhm.
on that?
Mr. President, I move the approval of 3, lines 3, 4, and 5.
We have a motion to approve 3, 4, and 5. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve 3, 4, and 5 on transfers. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by aye. Passes 6-0. Under other business, we have status of funds. I believe we need to acknowledge that we have reviewed the status of funds and also that we have approved an annual approval of those levels. I don't, Rhonda, I don't think we need a motion on that.
think that's just an update.
So I think everyone has the status, yes. Is there any questions or any comments on the status?
Wasn't there something new from the bond people too? They wanted you to recognize this every month.
We kind of do, don't we?
I think it's automatic.
Automatic, acknowledge his
Yeah,
presence.
I think, yeah, exactly, that we've acknowledged it. Yeah. Okay,
I just like to say food and beverage is still healthier than it's ever been.
Mr. Wyeth? And on that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Next on our agenda would be to open for public comments. Anyone care to comment? Seeing none, we'll move on. Council comments. Mr. Cox.
I've already made mine, so I'm good.
All right.
I concur with Larry that Dave Cox took the lead on this and did the application, and without him, we would not have received the award. I hated to miss it, but I had to leave early. I wanted to say that I think Larry, Chuck, and I attended Extension's little meeting on meeting the President Purdue, who's quite a dynamic person and very personable, and he had done 6 counties that day, I think.
I think so.
So we were the last. So it was short and sweet, and it was very interesting. He's a really neat guy.
It was an interesting meeting and greeting. Yes, it was. Mr. Wyeth.
Well, to that, Nancy, not many know this, but a few years ago, we had 2 Purdue trustees on the board of Hendricks County. And that's very unusual to have 2 trustees sitting on the Purdue University. And that was John Harden and Barbara Edmondson. That's very rare. So
Do we have any now?
No. I would say there could be one in the future, possibly. A classmate of mine, possibly. But I have no other comments other than the weather's been nice, and hope the commissioners continue to watch the weather for burn bans. It's pretty, it could be very volatile right now.
Okay. Mr. Hessen.
I would just share with the members of the council that the County Councils Association Legislative Committee is meeting on a regular basis to propose and pursue legislation in the upcoming session that will be of benefit to us as a group, and of course to the public. And we've been somewhat successful in past years. Some of the things we've pursued in the past, we're still pursuing, but it is an active group, and try to keep you updated.
I might add to Larry's comments. I believe, Nancy, you're on the legislative committee also?
No, I'm not.
Or license, you're not? Okay, so we have 2 members that are on that legislative committee. And I know the 2 of us have, well, I've been on it now for 3 years, I believe, so I think you've been on it for some time.
I think so.
We'll say a few years.
Yeah.
And last year, I would say we were fairly successful. SB1 was something else, but we got several other things that in favor for the counties, so that was good. Mr. Parsons?
I just want to mention that I appreciate the information that I got from the Association of Indiana Counties Conference. And I also appreciate all the help you guys have done, helping me, I guess, bringing me under your wings and helping me understand how this works.
We're just fostering you, Chuck.
All right, is that what it is? You're gonna turn me out to pasture here? Thank you.
Well, you're most welcome on that. Okay, I've got a, wait a minute, I'm sorry, Ann, excuse me.
I'm good. We have our auditors conference tomorrow and Thursday, Friday, so we're just wrapping everything up. The budget will be submitted and this has been a fun year.
Yeah. Paul?
I'm good, thank you.
Doesn't look good.
I had tendon surgery yesterday afternoon.
I figured it was a 12 ounce.
No, won't be able to do those for a while either.
Is there pain with it?
There's a little bit of pain, but I'm on Tylenol only, so it's all good.
Okay. Well, for those of you who have bared through, stayed with us through all of this, I've got a final comment. Earlier this month, I completed the Hendricks County Sheriff's Citizen Academy. And this was the second year for it. I did not know about last year that it had even happened. And I do want to share this because it was really an interesting experience to go through the academy. I saw a thing in the Reporter newspaper on it, and I contemplated whether I wanted to even try to apply for it. Because it's like 10 weeks, it's one night a week, and it's from 6 to 9:30, so it's like, it's quite a commitment. And so I said, okay, I'm going to apply. And I got accepted to it. And I just have to tell you that it is unbelievable the protection that's going on for all of us in our sheriff's department. And I don't want the sheriff to get the big head here where he can't get out of this room. But the staff is incredible. All of the instructors are active members of the sheriff's office and the jail. It turns out, after doing some investigation later on, because I think Jack was probably the only one I really knew in the sheriff's office. I didn't really, well, I know some ex-deputies, that sort of thing, but so I found out that apparently at the first of last year, Colonel Scott Larson and the Sheriff Sadler, the two of them had a little conversation just among themselves of maybe starting an academy thing, whatever. Well, coincidentally, out of the blue, Sergeant Josh Norum, I hope I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. Norum. Yeah. He approached the sheriff, not knowing that the colonel and the sheriff had even been talking about it, and suggested this would be a great idea, not knowing what they had been thinking. So that got the two of them activated, I think, and all of a sudden, Josh, who had done that, ended up being the one to head up putting the program together. And what was going to be in the program. And I got all these notes, so I got to be careful. I'll take off too much of your time. Yeah, I think you can probably tell. I mean, it was fantastic. I'm so glad I attended it. But I mean, there's things like one evening it was like canine demonstrations. If you haven't seen that canine thing, I mean, it's incredible what those dogs do and don't do, and so on. I mean, it's unbelievable. We had a tour of the jail. We had I'm calling it a SWAT team exhibition, although SWAT's not the term they use. But I had no idea of what goes on in the training and how they go about doing that. And then one evening we were at the shooting range, and also at the shooting range was this building with these different rooms in it. And so we not only were learning how to use these firearms if we didn't know and how to properly use them, but then we were accompanied by a deputy individually, one-on-one thing behind us with his hand on our shoulder as we approached this building and the entrance and the procedures you need to go through to do a room-to-room check. And the first 2 rooms, I shot the 2 bad guys. There was 1 bad guy in each room. The 3rd room, because it's dark, I mean, it was totally dark, but your firearm has a little battery or a little light, flashlight thing. And so when you come around that corner, you could flip that thing and see this image. And there was this image of this man pointing his firearm right at me, and I shot that dude. And we were supposed to do 2 of them, 2 shots for each one of these characters. I shot that dude right through the head. And it turned out that if I would have noticed, there was a badge on his belt. So I'm sharing this with you because the emphasis is you have only a split second to make these kind of decisions, and you don't know what's going to be coming up. So I'm just sharing probably too much stuff here, but it's incredible what you learn, how much training our officers go through. Not only to defend themselves so that they get to go home at night to their families, but also not taking advantage of, we'll say, the bad guy. That they're trying to subdue the bad guy rather than take him out. And I'm not sure if laws and regulations. Oh, and then last but not least, one evening we were at the academy, the Indiana Academy at Plainfield. I had no idea how large that facility was. We were doing, because they have all these roads and stuff out there, we were doing like they'd be chasing a car. And so, I mean, you're doing high speed and all these different maneuvers and stuff. And I had never experienced anything like that. I had no idea what these deputies can do with these police cars. I mean, you can be going one direction at 70 miles an hour. The next thing you know, you're going the other direction at 70, 80 miles an hour. And so it was an experience. So if you ever get to go to the academy, and you get accepted, I would really urge you to apply for it. And if you do, when it comes to the car chase, do not ride with the man I mentioned before. Do not. I repeat, do not ride with him.
It's on the edge.
It was time to get out of the car. So then we were asked if we wanted to go again. I passed. So I'm sorry to take up all your time, but it's a wonderful thing, Sheriff, that you and your people, and I think that Josh Warren's committee was like 15 people or more. And the program is professional as all get out. And so I would urge you to think about it. So.
And you're saying, Larry, shoot them all, throw them out later?
Yeah. So with that, we will be adjourned. Thank you. Thanks for listening to me.